The massive council chamber floated in the void between stars, a crystalline structure that defied physics as most species understood it. Inside, representatives from 12 different alien civilizations sat in judgment. At the center of their circular arrangement, a holographic projection showed a small blue planet Earth. Lord Vex, the reptilian leader of the Galactic Council, rose from his seat. His scales shimmered with barely contained anger. "The humans have gone too far," he declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Their latest warship, the Thunder, violates 17 different treaties we never even invited them to sign." Ambassador Krill, a being made entirely of living energy, pulsed with concern. "But surely they don't understand our laws. They've only been spacefaring for 300 years. "Ignorance is no excuse," Vex interrupted. "Look at this data." The hologram shifted, showing a sleek black vessel that seemed to absorb light itself. "They've weaponized gravity. They've turned dark matter into armor. They've created engines that bend space-time for tactical advantage. This ship could destroy entire star systems." The council murmured in fear. The insectoid representative, Queen Buzz, clicked her mandibles nervously. "What do you propose?" "We summon them here. We demand they surrender this vessel. If they refuse—" Vex paused dramatically. "We destroy Earth before they become a threat to us all." The vote was unanimous. A message was sent to Earth, demanding humanity send the Thunder to the Council immediately for inspection and probable destruction. The deadline: 72 Earth hours. On Earth, in the underground command center of the United Nations Space Force, Admiral James looked at the message with his senior staff. His weathered face showed no emotion as he read the alien demands aloud. "They want us to hand over our best defensive weapon," Colonel Smith said, shaking her head. "The Thunder is the only thing keeping the pirates from the Outer Rim away from our colonies." "It's more than that," Dr. Brown, the chief scientist, added. "The Thunder represents 30 years of human innovation. Every life we lost in the Mars conflicts, every resource we scraped together after the climate wars, it all went into that ship." Admiral James stood up slowly. "They think we're weak because we're young. They think we'll bow to their demands because we're outnumbered." He looked at each of his officers. "They're about to learn why humans survived on a death world for 200,000 years before reaching the stars." "Sir?" Smith asked. "Send a reply. Tell them the Thunder is coming." James smiled grimly. "But not to surrender." The preparation began immediately. Captain Tom, the Thunder's commander, was a veteran of 16 deep space battles. He stood on the bridge of humanity's deadliest creation, looking at his crew of 50. Each one was the best Earth had to offer engineers, who could fix anything with duct tape and determination. Gunners who never missed, navigators who could plot a course through a black hole. "Listen up," Tom announced. "The galactic community thinks we're a threat because we're good at war. They're right. But they forgot to ask why we're good at it." He paused, letting his words sink in. "We're good at it because we protect what we love. Our families. Our world. Our freedom." Lieutenant Wilson, barely 25, but already a legend for her piloting skills, spoke up from her station. "Captain, the quantum drives are ready. We can make the jump to the Council in 6 hours instead of the 3 days they expect." "Good. Let them think they have time to prepare." Tom turned to his weapons officer. "Commander Black, status on our special package?" Black grinned. "The gravity bombs are armed and ready. The Council wants to see what the Thunder can do. We'll show them." As the Thunder prepared to depart, cities across Earth watched on massive screens. Children held toy versions of the ship. Veterans saluted. The message was clear. Humanity would not kneel. The Thunder's engines roared to life, creating a sound that shouldn't exist in the vacuum of space, but did anyway, because humans had found a way. As it lifted off from Earth's moon base, space itself seemed to ripple around it. The heavens were about to learn why Earth's children were different. They were about to discover what happens when you threaten the descendants of predators who conquered their world through wit, will, and sheer stubborn refusal to give up. The Galactic Council had expected 3 days to prepare their fleet. They got 6 hours. The thunder didn't just arrive, it tore through space like reality itself was merely a suggestion. The quantum jump exit point, traditionally a smooth transition, exploded into existence with purple lightning that made nearby ships' shields crackle. The human warship emerged from the void like an ancient predator breaking through ice. Lord Vex nearly fell from his command throne aboard his flagship, the Pride of Scales. Impossible. Our scientists said quantum jumps at that speed would tear any ship apart. His science officer, a trembling blue-skinned humanoid, stammered, "The humans. They're using their own bodies as stabilizers. Their crew is absorbing the quantum stress. No other species could survive that." The thunder hung in space before the assembled fleet of 500 ships. It was smaller than most, only 3 kilometers long, but it radiated menace. Its black hull seemed to drink in starlight, and strange symbols glowed along its surface. Those who understood human history would recognize them. Cave paintings, Viking runes, Aztec warriors. Samurai crests, humanity's entire warrior heritage, etched in light. Captain Tom opened a channel to the Council. His image appeared on every screen in the fleet, and his calm demeanor sent chills through alien crews. "Galactic Council, this is Captain Tom of the Un's Thunder. We've received your summons. You will surrender your vessel immediately for decommissioning," Vex commanded, trying to project authority he no longer felt. Tom smiled. It wasn't a friendly expression. "I think there's been a misunderstanding. We came here to negotiate, not surrender. You see, you sent us a threat. On Earth, we have a saying, 'Talk softly and carry a big stick.' You talk loudly. Now you get to see our stick." Before Vex could respond, the thunder did something impossible. It split apart, not destroyed, transformed. The single ship became 12 separate sections, each moving independently but in perfect synchronization. They danced through space in a pattern that hurt to watch, as if geometry itself was being insulted. Dr. Red, the Thunder's chief engineer, monitored the transformation from her station. "Modular combat mode engaged, Captain. All sections report green. Show them the roses." Tom ordered. Each section of the Thunder released what looked like metallic flowers into space, thousands of them. They drifted lazily toward the Council fleet, beautiful and harmless looking. The aliens watched in confusion until the first rose reached a shield. It passed through like the shield wasn't there. Panic erupted across the Council fleet as the roses attached to hulls. They didn't explode, they began to sing. The sound was transmitted through the ship's hulls, a deep vibration that resonated at the exact frequency to cause metal fatigue. Within seconds, tiny cracks appeared on every affected vessel. Weapons free. Vex screamed, "Destroy them." 500 ships opened fire at once. Laser beams, plasma bolts, antimatter missiles, the combined firepower could have cracked a moon. The Thunder sections moved like a school of fish, each one anticipating the others perfectly. Where one section dodged, another provided cover. Where one attacked, another defended. But it was the ship's main defense that truly terrified the Council. The Thunder didn't just have shields, it had borrowed space. Each incoming attack hit a pocket of twisted spacetime that sent it elsewhere. Some shots emerged from random points in space. Others simply vanished into dimensions that shouldn't exist. Lieutenant Wilson laughed as she piloted Section 3 through a barrage that should have vaporized her. "They're shooting at where we are, not where we're going to be. Didn't anyone teach them about human intuition? Commander Black watched his tactical display with satisfaction. "Captain, they're starting to understand. Look at their formation." The Council fleet was backing away, their perfect attack formation crumbling. Some ships were already preparing to jump away. The mighty Galactic Council, masters of 1,000 worlds, were being driven back by a single human ship. Ambassador Krill's energy form flickered with fear as he contacted Vex. "Lord Vex, perhaps we should reconsider." "Never." Vex roared. "Deploy the Devastator." From the center of the Council fleet, a massive ship emerged. It was 50 kilometers of pure destruction, a vessel that had ended civilizations. Its main gun could crack planets. Tom watched it arrive and felt his crew tense. This was what they'd really come for, to show the galaxy that humanity wouldn't just fight back. They'd win. "All sections reform," Tom commanded. "Time to show them why human children play with building blocks." The thunder began to reassemble, but not in its original form. Something new was taking shape. Asterisk. The thunder's 12 sections spun through space in a complex ballet, dodging the Devastator's targeting systems while pulling together into something unprecedented. Metal flowed like liquid. Connections formed that shouldn't exist, and reality itself seemed to bend around the reforming ship. "What are they doing?" Lord Vex demanded, his scales turning pale green with anxiety. His tactical officer could only stare at the readings. "Sir, the energy signatures. They're linking their drive cores. All 12 of them. The power output is—" the officer's voice cracked. "It's impossible." But humanity had always specialized in the impossible. Captain Tom stood at the center of the thunder's combined bridge, his command crew from all sections now working as one unit. The transformation wasn't just mechanical, it was philosophical. 12 separate command structures became one unified force, like human tribes coming together against a common threat. "Dr. Red, status report," Tom commanded. The engineer's eyes gleamed with excitement. "All sections locked. We're running at 400% capacity. The quantum cores are singing in harmony." She paused, then grinned. "We've become something new, Captain. The thunder is now the storm." The final form was revealed as the last piece clicked into place. The storm was no longer just a warship, it was a geometric impossibility that worked anyway. Multiple dimensions folded into 3, creating a vessel that appeared to exist in several places simultaneously. Its weapons didn't just point outward. They pointed in directions that normal space didn't have. The Devastator fired its planet cracker beam. The storm didn't dodge. It opened, like a flower blooming in reverse. The ship's center created a void, not empty space, but aggressive nothingness that consumed the beam entirely. The energy that could have shattered Earth simply ceased to exist. "Return fire," Tom ordered calmly. "Show them human creativity." What happened next would be debated in galactic universities for centuries. The storm didn't fire weapons in any conventional sense. Instead, it convinced space that the Devastator was already destroyed. Reality. Argued, the storm insisted. Reality blinked first. The Devastator's hull began, aging rapidly in some sections while reversing in others. Parts of it existed last Tuesday, while other sections wouldn't exist until next Friday. The mighty warship twisted in temporal agony, its crew evacuating in escape pods that the storm carefully avoided targeting. "Humans don't kill unnecessarily," Tom broadcast to the fleet. "But we will defend ourselves with everything we have. And what we have is imagination, backed by determination." Queen Buzz's compound eyes focused on the impossible sight. Her species had evolved over millions of years to see in multiple spectrums, but the storm hurt to perceive. "How?" she whispered. Admiral James, monitoring from Earth, had authorized Tom to reveal humanity's secret. Tom activated a holographic presentation that appeared before the entire Council fleet. You want to know why human ships are different? Tom began. Look at your vessels. Perfect, elegant, designed by committee and built by machines. Each one follows the same principles you've used for millennia. The hologram showed human history cave paintings. The wheel, fire, the atomic bomb, the first spacecraft held together with little more than hope. Humans build differently. We argue. We fight. We have 12 engineers with 13 opinions. But when threatened, we become one. Our ships aren't just metal and energy. They're dreams made real, held together by sheer human stubbornness. Lieutenant Wilson added from her station, "You evolve through peace. We evolve through conflict. Not because we love war, but because we love surviving more." The storm began to separate again, but slowly, deliberately. Each section performed a different impossible maneuver. One phase shifted through solid matter. Another existed in two places at once. A third reversed its own causality to be where it had been 5 seconds ago. This is what one human ship can do, Tom continued. We have 50 more being built. Not for conquest, but for protection. Because the galaxy is dangerous, and we've learned that the best defense isn't shields or weapons. It's being too stubborn to lose. Lord Vex's command throne sparked and failed, dropping him ungracefully to the floor. As he stood, trying to maintain dignity, he realized the truth. The humans hadn't come to fight. They'd come to teach a lesson. The Council will reconsider its position, Vex managed to say. Good, Tom replied. Because we'd rather be friends. We have recipes to share, music to play, and stories to tell. But threaten our world again. The storm reformed into the thunder, whole and undamaged despite the battle. And the heavens will learn why humans fear nothing but fear itself. Asterisk, the council chamber was different now. Where once arrogance had filled the crystalline hall, uncertainty hung like fog. The thunder waited outside, a silent reminder that humanity wasn't asking for permission to exist. They were announcing their presence. Captain Tom entered the chamber alone, against all protocol. No guards, no weapons visible, just a human in a simple uniform carrying what appeared to be a metallic briefcase. The council members shifted nervously. If one human ship could do what they'd witnessed, what could one human do? Please sit, Lord Vex offered. His tone drastically changed from 3 hours ago. The defeat of the Devastator without a single casualty had shattered more than just metal. It had broken assumptions held for thousands of years. Tom remained standing. On Earth, we have a tradition. When enemies meet to talk peace, they share a meal. He opened the briefcase, revealing not weapons, but food. Simple sandwiches cut into small portions. Peanut butter and jelly. Every human child grows up with these. The council stared. Ambassador Krill's energy form flickered with confusion. You brought ... food? To a diplomatic emergency? I brought perspective, Tom corrected, offering a piece to each representative. Taste it. Queen Buzz went first, her complex digestive system analyzing the offering. Her eyes widened. It's simple, basic nutrients. But there's something else. Comfort, Tom explained. This is what human mothers make when their children are scared. What we eat when the world seems too big. It's not about the food, it's about the feeling. That's what you don't understand about humans. He finally sat, but not in the defendant's chair they prepared. He pulled up a simple stool, making himself equal, not superior or inferior. You fear us because we weaponized gravity, Tom continued. But do you know why we studied gravity so intensely? Because our world has higher gravity than most. Our children grow up stronger just by existing. We didn't choose to be warriors, physics chose for us. Dr. Brown's holographic form appeared beside Tom, transmitted from Earth. "May I demonstrate something?" she asked the council. Without waiting, she displayed an image of a human child's drawing of a spaceship, crude and impossible. "This is little Amy from Texas, age 6. She drew this after seeing the Thunder launch." The image shifted, showing technical specifications. "Our engineers made her drawing real. It shouldn't work, but it does. Because humans don't ask if something is possible. We ask how to make it possible." Lord Vex leaned forward, his predatory instincts recognizing something important. "You're saying your strength comes from chaos?" "From diversity," Tom corrected. "The Thunder has a crew from 40 different Earth nations. They argue constantly, but when threatened, they become one. That's why the modular system works. It mirrors who we are." The negotiation took an unexpected turn when the smallest council member, a crystalline being called Shine, spoke for the first time in centuries. "Show us Earth." Tom smiled and activated a holographic projector. Earth appeared in the chamber's center, but not as the tactical display from before. This showed the living world clouds swirling, lights twinkling at night, the aurora dancing at the poles. "Beautiful," Shine whispered. "And deadly," Tom added. "Hurricanes that can destroy cities, earthquakes that reshape continents, predators that hunt in packs, microscopic organisms that evolve faster than we can cure them. We don't come from paradise. We come from a world that tries to kill us daily." "And we said no." Commander Black's voice came through the communication system. "Captain, we're detecting movement in the outer system." The council tensed, but Tom laughed. "Right on schedule. Council members, may I present humanity's real message? 50 ships emerged from Quantum Jump, but these weren't warships. They were colony vessels, trade ships, medical frigates, and research stations. The human fleet arranged itself in a perfect sphere around the Thunder protection and purpose combined. We didn't build the Thunder to conquer," Tom explained. "We built it to protect these ships, the families aboard them, the scientists seeking knowledge, the traders bringing prosperity, the doctors offering healing." Ambassador Krill pulsed with understanding. "You're not warriors who learned peace. You're peaceful beings who learned war." "We're survivors who learned both," Tom corrected. "And we're offering to share what we've learned. Our medical ships have treatments for the Rosic plague. Our agricultural vessels carry seeds that can grow in dead soil. Our teachers want to learn your languages and share ours." Queen Buzz clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "And if we refuse?" Tom stood up, preparing to leave. "Then we go home. We'll defend our borders, trade with whoever's willing, and continue exploring. The galaxy is big enough for all of us." He paused at the chamber's exit. "But wouldn't it be better to explore it together?" The council looked at each other, then at the human fleet outside, dangerous and peaceful, chaotic and unified. Impossible and undeniable. 6 months after the Thunder shook the heavens. The galaxy had changed in ways no one could have predicted. The Galactic Council space station orbited Earth now, not as conquerors, but as guests. Human children pressed their faces against viewing windows, waving at alien ambassadors who, surprisingly, waved back. The fear that had driven the initial confrontation had transformed into curiosity, then cooperation, and finally into something resembling friendship. Captain Tom stood in the newly constructed United Species Command Center, watching humans and aliens work side by side. A young ensign from Mars was teaching a 4-armed Clixon engineer how to use duct tape. The Clixon was teaching the human how to think in 4 dimensions. Both were laughing. "Never thought I'd see this," Admiral James said, joining Tom at the observation deck. "When they summoned us, I was prepared for war." "We all were," Tom replied. "But that's what makes us human." We prepare for war while hoping for peace. The real change had started small. Dr. Brown had shared humanity's medical database with the Council, asking nothing in return. Within weeks, 3 species facing extinction from genetic diseases were saved. The Council reciprocated by sharing their agricultural knowledge, ending hunger on Earth's struggling colonies. But it was the little things that truly bridged the gap. Lord, Vex had developed an embarrassing fondness for coffee. Queen Buzz's hive had become obsessed with football. Ambassador Krill had started a band with human musicians, creating music that existed in both sound and light spectrums. The crystalline being Shine had become Earth's first alien kindergarten teacher, its patient nature perfect for human children who found it pretty. Lieutenant Wilson was now commanding a mixed-species crew on the Thunder's first diplomatic mission. Her navigator was a Vexen, her weapons officer a human, her engineer a hybrid AI that humans and Krilli had developed together. They argued constantly and worked perfectly. The Outer Rim pirates are requesting negotiation, Wilson reported to Tom through quantum communication. They say if the humans are joining the galactic community, they want to talk terms. Tom laughed. Send them Commander Block. He speaks their language. The Thunder itself had become a symbol, but not a fear. It was now the prototype for the unified fleet ships that combined human creativity with alien precision. The new vessels were even more impossible than the Thunder, because now they had 12 species arguing about how to break physics. Instead of just humans, Dr. Red had partnered with the Council's greatest scientists to solve the quantum jump stress problem. The solution was elegantly human. Instead of avoiding the stress, they channeled it into power. Ships now arrived from jumps with more energy than they left with, turning a problem into a resource. Captain, a young voice called. Amy from Texas, now 7 years old, ran up to Tom. She was visiting the station with her class. Look what I drew. It was another spaceship, even more impossible than her last one. This one had wings made of stars and engines that ran on laughter. It's beautiful, Tom said seriously. What's it called? The Friendship, Amy announced. It brings people together. Behind Amy, Shine sparkled with what humans had learned was laughter. We will build it, the crystalline being said. The humans have taught us that impossible is just another word for not yet. The transformation wasn't without challenges. Some species still feared humanity's chaotic nature. Some humans still distrusted aliens. But progress came in small victories, a shared meal, a problem solved together, a joke that translated across species. Lord Vex approached Tom, his scales shimmering with an emotion humans had learned meant gratitude. The Council has made a decision. Earth will have a permanent seat with full voting rights. We're honored, Tom replied. No, Vex corrected. We're honored. You could have destroyed us. Instead, you taught us. The galaxy thought strength meant dominance. You showed us it means lifting others up. As the ceremony concluded, Tom looked out at the stars. The Thunder floated peacefully among hundreds of ships from dozens of species. Its weapons were powered down, but everyone knew they were there. Peace through strength, trust through transparency. Wilson's voice crackled through the calm. Captain, we've received a distress signal from the Andromeda expedition. Unknown hostile forces. Tom smiled, not because of the danger, but because of the response. Every ship in the vicinity, human, Vexen, Krilli, and others, immediately changed course to help. All ships, this is Captain Tom. Someone needs help. Let's show them what the unified fleet can do. The heavens no longer quaked when human ships arrived. Now they sang in harmony. The Thunder had descended, and in its wake, it had lifted everyone higher. The end asterisk.